I always believed marriage was meant to be about trust, loyalty, and building a life together. For years, I thought that's exactly what my wife, Emily, and I had. We lived in a modest home on the outskirts of town, surrounded by 20 acres of land that had been in my family for generations. That land wasn't just real estate. It was a legacy, the foundation of everything my parents and grandparents had worked so hard to create. When my father passed away, I inherited it all: the house, the land, and a significant sum for his business ventures. It was bittersweet, but I took pride in safeguarding his legacy. Emily, however, seemed far more interested in the inheritance than the memories tied to it. She kept asking about the money, the value of property, and how we could make the most of it. At first, I dismissed it, assuming she just wanted to secure our future. But the little signs began to accumulate. She grew distant, spending more time on her phone than with me. She took late-night calls that lasted for hours. Conversations about family or long-term plans disappeared, replaced by comment about how she deserved more from life. The final blow came one night when I overheard her on the phone in the kitchen. Her voice was low and urgent, and the words hit me like a punch. "Don't worry. Once the divorce is final, I'll get half of everything. Then we can finally start fresh." It felt like the air had been sucked from my lungs. My wife wasn't just unhappy. She was scheming, plotting to take the inheritance my father had left me. I wanted to burst in, confront her, scream, but my instincts told me to hold back. I couldn't act as a husband. I needed to act as a strategist. If she wanted a divorce, I would give her one, but not on her terms. The next morning, I acted normal. I kissed Emily on the cheek, wished her a good day, and went about my routine. Inside, though, my mind was already working. I quietly contacted a lawyer I trusted, someone familiar with my family's history and who understood the stakes. When I told him what I had overheard, he didn't flinch. "If she thinks she can take your inheritance, she's in for a surprise," he said. "The land and funds are legally protected. They can't be divided in a divorce. They belong solely to you." That knowledge gave me the clarity I needed. I didn't confront Emily immediately. Instead, I began gathering evidence. I checked phone records, tracked her late-night absences, and eventually caught her meeting a man outside a cafe. They were laughing, holding hands, completely oblivious to the consequences. I snapped photos quietly, each one a piece of the puzzle. At home, Emily grew bolder. She dropped hints about divorce, testing me. "People change, James," she'd say. "Sometimes relationships just run their course." I nodded and played along, letting her feel in control. Every word she spoke only strengthened my resolve. Eventually, she revealed her plan. One evening over dinner, she sighed dramatically and said, "I think it's time we go our separate ways for both our sakes." She tried to sound selfless, but the gleam in her eyes betrayed her intentions. She believed she would walk away with half of my inheritance, half of the land, everything my family had built. I agreed calmly, almost too calmly. "If that's what you want, Emily, then we'll do it." She looked momentarily shocked, as if expecting me to beg or fight. But I didn't. Deep down, I knew something she didn't. Her scheme was about to collapse spectacularly. When the divorce proceedings began, Emily entered the courtroom brimming with confidence. She was impeccably dressed, lawyer at her side, sending smug glances my way as though she'd already won. She thought she'd get the house, the land, and a share of what she imagined was our joint fortune. But when my lawyer presented the documents, her smile faltered. He calmly explained to the judge that my inheritance had been placed in a protective trust years before Emily and I were married. By law, it was untouchable. The house and land were similarly protected, registered in my name alone as family property. Then came the photographs. My lawyer laid them out. Emily with her lover, kissing outside the cafe, holding hands like star-crossed teenagers. The courtroom went silent. Emily's face drained of color. Her lawyer flipped through the papers, searching hopelessly for a loophole. The judge's ruling was decisive. Emily received nothing beyond what she personally contributed, which was minimal. No inheritance, no land, no financial gain. I walked away with everything intact, millions in protected assets and 20 acres of family land. Outside the courthouse, Emily tried to plead. James, we can work this out. But the performance was over. I looked her in the eye. You didn't want me. You wanted what I had. Now you have nothing. Word spread fast. The woman who once thought she could outsmart me was exposed for who she really was. Desperate, reckless, and empty-handed. Meanwhile, I began rebuilding my life, investing in the land, expanding the house, and finding peace. Her plot hadn't just failed. It had destroyed her. And for me, it was freedom. A stark reminder that betrayal, no matter how carefully planned, always carries a cost.